Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was in the world of solo leveling part 8. Before we start, please go support AndresFelipeSolanoDi for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 45. Uchiha Clan. In front of the Uchiha clan, Madara's shadow was visualized. Madara did not try to hold back at all. He was willing to obtain what he came for. His murderous thirst was overflowing. Madara. Sharingan, Byakugan, Tensugan, only 2 Rinnegan eyes are missing, and that's it. I would take more, but in view of the situation will not allow me to do so, and there is only 1 pair of Tensugan eyes. I cannot be demanding in terms of quantity, even I will have problems if Hyuga and Uchiha meet. Face me. He began to walk, his steps became lighter. The more he walked, the more he could notice the silence. As much silence as the clan had ever felt, it seemed like a ghost town. But his path stopped at the building where the clan leader, the oldest elder of the clan, was. Old man. I see that you have arrived, Madara. In front of this, an old man with a white beard serving you is seen. Madara politely sat down calmly. Madara. May I ask why the clan looks so lonely? Old man. You don't already have the answer. Madara. Old man, do you have any regrets for letting me grow and not killing me when you had the chance? Old man. Only a coward would kill an innocent child who had no awareness of good or evil. It is when you become aware that the child becomes a man. Madara. That cowardice would have saved lives. Let's face it, you were on Itachi's side because you knew that his words could very well be true. Don't tell me that you had hope that he would reflect. Old man. No, in fact I knew you weren't going to do it, but tell me why you really did everything. Was it because of the death of your little brother? After his words, Madara would remember the past for a moment where he and his brother fought side by side. Madara. If you know how to hit the target, it's wrong. Maybe I want everything related to the person who killed someone precious to me to die. Anyone else would take the same path. Elder. If at that time I had been able to protect your brother, perhaps your hatred would not become so intense as to steal the eyes of your brother's corpse and develop an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Madara. Thanks to that my power was increased, I unlocked my abilities. I was happy for being strong. In fact I don't have any hatred for the Uchiha clan, it would be the opposite. Old man. Then why? Madara. Because you betrayed me. Old man. Takes a sip of tea. Madara. Peace is not betrayal. Madara. Don't buck with me after so much blood spilled, after so many clan lives lost. The Senju arrive, stretch out their hand, and you lick it like gold. Elder. I'm sorry that so much blood and slaughter has made you what you are now, but going back to the old times is not the solution. The Senju also suffered losses. If time should teach us anything, it is to forgive. Madara. Forgiveness will not return my brother to me. Old man. So I'm sorry I told everyone to leave because I feel it's my responsibility to end everything after I let your brother die, and I don't arrive in time. I abandoned my name, and I'm just an old man, and this old man must finish you off to prevent a dangerous future. Madara. It is said that you who obtained the Rinnegan thanks to the Senju were the only one in the clan who can control it to such a level that you surpass the barriers of time and space, allowing you to see the future. I see that it is not a lie. Old man. Lowers the tier 8. Madara. I'm sorry Shinra Tensei. At that moment he would be sent flying into several buildings ahead. Madara. How was he supposed to be old? He would quickly compose himself and run towards the old man who was standing outside and showing his imposing Rinnegan eyes. Elder. As always quick to attack. Madara. Exactly, old man. Shock, bang, shock, bang, shock. Madara showed his excellence in close combat, but the old man showed great mastery of his physical abilities at the same time. In fact Madara was being treated like a child, however he was only using the Sharingan. Madara. Typical of you, old man. Even at this age you demonstrate great mastery of skills. Time has helped you. Old man. You could say yes. Madara. However, don't even think about coming out with victory. Elder. I wouldn't be so sure. Bansho Tenon. Quickly Madara's body was attracted by a gravitational force towards the Madara. Smiles. Let's get serious, old man. Susanoo. After seeing that action, the old man quickly undid the Bansho Tenon and dodged a sword from the active Susanoo, who was about to cut him. Elder. This gets complicated, but because you don't use all your power, maybe you are afraid of destroying an empty village dodging his attacks. Madara. I want to measure my current level with yours, old man. Currently, you were once the acclaimed strongest Uchiha. I want to see if I have already surpassed you. Elder. In power perhaps, in maturity little. Madara. Raises his sword. Die. Old man. Dodges it easily. Your mind being in discord does not let you see the truth. Madara. Enough of your meaningless talk. We both know you can't defeat me. Elder. Not defeat you, but seal you, Chibaku Tensei. At that moment Madara quickly pointed the Susanoo swords at the old man's face, but the rocks got in the way. That black sphere began to float. Madara. Damn, so this is one of the reasons why the village is empty. You plan to lock me in a gigantic rock. You think that will contain me, Elder? Of course Madara, that's why I asked Uzumaki for help. Madara. Shocked, perhaps, Elder. Sealing jutsu perpetual darkness. Madara. Unhappy. While he was imprisoned by the rocks with the Susanoo, black runes surrounded the rocks. Old man. I didn't plan to beat you, age has taken its toll on me. His eyes were bleeding heavily, showing the burden on his body when he used that power, plus the sealing jutsu. Madara. Since when were you planning this, Elder? For a long time. Madara's voice echoed among the gigantic rock, while the black runes of the seal enveloped that gigantic rock. Madara. Why are you so afraid, old man? Old man. It's not you I fear, I want to avoid the future I saw. Madara. I see it's good or bad. Old man. Neither one nor the other, I only saw one person and I was terrified. Madara. Huh. All this for one person, Elder. Because it was then that I saw something that I shouldn't have seen. You would mess with something out of your control, and I saw that one person gave off tremendous power, almost impossible. It was only for a short period, but I also managed to see and hear something that is whispered in the air, as if it were death. Madara. Old man, we created a monster to kill us, those visions of the future are not so accurate. Old man. Yes, it is true that the future is several lines of time and they are constantly changing, but this line in general did not change. In front of it, an army prostrating, and the words that the wind whispered, the god of death descends on the world. Madara. Honestly, you underestimate me if you think I will lose to a god, Elder. I don't expect you to understand, but not knowing if that future is good or not, I can't let you follow the destiny that could lead to what could be the destruction of our world. Madara. I can't understand you because I don't see what you see, the only future I see is where my goals and successes are fulfilled. Elder. It is useless to reason with you, you will remain sealed for many years. Madara. I would say no. At that moment the rock began to break, however the seal still remained. Old man. It's too late to start fighting, the seal has already covered the entire surface. Madara. I would certainly lose and fall under your trap if I remained human. At that moment the seal began to slowly break until it broke like glass, and the figure of Madara was visualized in the imposing sky, while a storm began to form. Following that, Madara's hand appeared in front of him, crossing his chest. Old man. Spits blood. Madara. Being a member of the Cows Brigade brought me many benefits, giving up my humanity to keep my young state in my prime forever was worth it. Old man. To you, since when did you stop being human? Cough cough. Madara. Rizavam treats his teammates well. Old man. Falls to his knees. Madara. The reason for not using my Rinnegan is that I wanted to test how obsolete you have become. To think that you believed in sealing me and not winning the fight shows that you are an old geezer who has lost his peace. Old man. Just give me a moment, I want to take one last look. Madara. What are you taking about, Elder? Rinnegan, please, just one last time. He would use the Rinnegan one last time, blood would flow out of his eyes and a smile would appear. Madara. One thing you want to say as a last will. Old man. Luck, the abyss will look back at you. After that sentence the old leader of the clan left this world. Madara. Takes his eyes, with this I have everything. A storm that had formed dropped heavy rain, and in the distance the figure of one of the men from Madara's house is seen. Demon. Sir. Madara. Oh, where were they? Demon. The Uchiha clan attacked us when they went to attack the Hyuga, of course most of us escaped. Madara. The situation now as it is. Demon. Naruto Uzumaki has arrived with the other Uchiha. Currently they noticed the battle and the big rock breaking, obviously they know of their victory and they come quickly. Madara. I see. Demon. What do we do, sir? Madara. Here, gives him his eyes. Demon. Receives them, sir. What do you plan to do? Madara. You know who to give that to. Demon. But what about you? Madara. Do you think they will let you go in peace if I don't stay to stop them? Go now. Demon. Yes. The demon would quickly escape with the eyes already obtained. At that, a crow appeared in front of Madara, Sasuke Uchiha, and Naruto Uzumaki were in front of him. Madara. His chances are the same as the old man's. Quickly his eyes would transform into the Rinnegan. Naruto. Bastard. Sasuke. Calm down, Naruto, just attacking him won't do any good. They will not fight against you. Madara. Until you finally introduce yourself. Itachi Uchiha. Itachi. Naruto, Sasuke, right now our forces have been divided. The first is us who will keep Madara still here. If we are lucky, we will kill him, and the second is after the demon that took his eyes. Madara. It will be late, they won't reach him. Itachi. We'll see it anyway. Naruto and Sasuke, use everything you have, this area is already destroyed, don't worry about anything. Behind Itachi many men from the Hyuga and Uchiha clan would appear. Madara. I'm going to see if I can finish quickly the demon at the speed he's going. They can catch up with him. It would be a ruined plan if he didn't have a teleportation seal activated. On the other hand, that doesn't mean they can follow him to his location in Miami later. And if Itachi moves I might be able to stop it, which means I can't hold back anyway. I wasn't going to do it. Smiles, then come all at once. While the pursuers of that demon lost his trail, he had used the teleportation seal. Demon. Cough cough. Rizivum. Oh, but what a pleasant surprise. And Madara. Demon. He stayed to fight. Rizivum. Typical of him, but you have the package. Demon. Shows eyes. Rizivum. Well, we must start the experiment as soon as possible. Madara will prevent the clans from coming to disturb them by doing enough damage, but that does not mean that they cannot send an elite squad of few men. Demon. Sir, how much do you think Madara can do alone? Rizivum. Knowing him and that he is no longer human, his strength was doubled. The minimum demon being could last a whole day fighting at full power. We multiply that day by the damage he did to the men and the time it took to recover. I set a limit of 6 days for the clans to come to bother, so we have to do it quickly. Currently, in Miami, the airport, 2 subjects arrived at the place, more specifically, Issei and Vali. Issei. So here it is. Rias. Vali. Sure to get into this. Issei. There is no choice, whatever the experiment is, it must have already started and I need to know the truth about Rias. Chapter 46. The truth behind everything. Vali and Issei had arrived at the Miami airport. Hunter. Hello, you are the hunters who come to visit. Issei. Yes, nice to meet you. Hunter. Please let me check your passports. Issei. Okay, gives him the passports. Vali. As always, the country is careful, especially with hunters who travel knowing their potential and ability. I knew this would happen. Issei. We are in the government site. Since Vali and I traveled to Miami, they will surely take advantage of any opportunity to attract us. The truth is I understand why, but we are not here to guide us or talk about business. Hunter. Thank you, I hope you enjoy your stay if you like. But Issei will interrupt her and she would continue walking. Issei. I'm sorry, we're here to follow our own vacation schedule. Vali. If you'll excuse us, we don't want to take up any more of your time, we'll see where to stay. Hunter. Okay, have a pleasant stay. TCH fail. Issei. So that's being targeted by the government. Vali. Don't forget we must find a place to stay. Stop the experiment if it is completed, then destroy the eyes. Issei. I would recommend you not to act rashly, especially because Rizivum is someone you hate. Vali. I should tell you that. Issei. I'm calm. Vali. For now. Issei. I'll be fine, it's not like this all ends badly. How many crazy situations have we created and gotten out of? Vali. Sigh, let's hope so. Issei. You still didn't have to accompany me. Vali. I don't know, the truth is I feel like I should have gone. In part, I gave you the news about Rias and I'm to blame for it. Issei. Friend, it's no one's fault, to be honest. I really appreciate your honesty. Vali. Sigh, well, let's find a place to stay and start investigating. The two would walk calmly through the streets of Miami. They quickly found a place to stay. Vali. You know the rules of hunters in this country. Issei. No idea. Vali. I'll tell you. Number 1, S-class hunters should avoid using their powers in the city except for a fracture and the monsters invade. Issei. I understand. Vali. First of all, in this law you can find a clause in which hunters can defend themselves if they are attacked. Issei. So far the laws seem fine to me. Vali. Then get ready because here comes the corrupt side. This is the truth, if you are in S rank you can do whatever you want, since you contribute to the United States, and for them, an S rank hunter is more important than any low rank hunter, if it is a foreign S rank to us, if they put limitations on us, and there is still judicial punishment for the friction that exists in some countries. Issei. You mean that if they catch us doing something bad, they forgive them and they judge us? Vali. Correct. Above all, I think that because of the academy competition, some senior officials in the United States hold a grudge against you. You know what I mean by this. Issei. Be extremely careful. Vali. Exactly, I'm going out to find out information. This is your first time in a foreign country, and for once in your life as a friend, listen to me and don't go out, don't go causing a disaster. Vali would retire, leaving Issei alone in the hotel. Issei. I'm sorry Vali, I can't stay still. I have to go out and find out the truth for myself now. The limitations I have are the shadows. I can't use my army here for anything in the world. At least I have to limit myself to one shadow, and that it is when they cannot see me. It would be a huge problem if my power is seen here. The United States would consider me a problem and would have many eyes on it. Greg. As always, you will ignore Vali and go look for Rias. Issei. I'm desperate for answers. Greg. Mate, I hope everything goes well. Issei. Thank you, Dreg. After that short conversation, Issei would quickly calmly walk out the door. I would spend hours and hours walking through the streets peacefully. Issei. Until now the slums don't say anything. At that moment a call would come into Issei's cell phone. Issei. Hello, Vali. you never listen to me, don't you? Issei. I'm sorry but I can't stay still. Ollie. I know and I was expecting something like that, what did you find? Issei. Nothing, everything here seems to be out of the ordinary. Ollie. There are two of us, however, it was only asking about the cows brigade and the people fled. Issei. Then it seems that they have their roots planted here. Ollie. I exactly have the address of the building. Issei. Can you send me a message with her? Ollie. I will but Issei I don't doubt your abilities, I know you can escape, but do you want me to go with you or do it alone? Issei. Volley when I found out that Rias betrayed me I felt tremendous anger I felt like an idiot and for the first time I felt like it was a hard blow to the heart but when Kazuma gave me hope I felt revitalized no matter what happens it's something I must face alone, I want to see in the end where these decisions take me. Volley. Issei. Just take care of yourself. Issei. I keep it in mind friend hangs up. The night would come to Miami, the city would light up beautifully. But above all something stood out, a huge building with only the top painted black. The logo of the Cows Brigade was presented on it and on the intermediate floors in the rooms was the Crimson Princess Rias Gremory. Surziches. How's the matter going, Rias? It has been a long time since your report. Rias. I know but this espionage mission is difficult. They've kept me under surveillance. I know they say it's the protocol for new members, but all for one has been very insightful. I had to come with Rizavam to Miami to get away from him or else my facade would have ended a long time ago. Surziches. In fact I was surprised that he was there, I don't know much about him, but Ajuka seemed very serious about it because one of his friends has a certain history with him, he says to be careful, you never know when you might be in the palm of your hand. His hand. Rias. Something has happened in my absence. Surziches. Yes. Rias. I spoke some things with Issei before leaving, although most of them were questions, perhaps and hints, he himself promised things without me asking him, I hope he's okay how is the situation? Surziches. None of us are moving, we have to avoid the greatest suspicions, that is why we are moving with careful steps, so far from political matters, we are monitoring each of our men, so that information is not leaked. Rias. They are looking for the spy who has given them so much trouble. Surziches. For now everything points to Grigori, one of his angels may be the spy, but that doesn't mean there are more between us. Returning the favor with you was a great plan. Rias. For now the information I have is that they are plotting something related to the clans, apparently they have stolen things of value in the clans, but as always they are careful and do not specify what, but according to the file the experiment will be carried out here today. Surziches. Rias you must stop the experiment and escape I don't want to tell you, but whatever happens avoid fighting with Rizavam he is a super demon he is not on my level, but he is still a super demon, besides having many dirty tricks. Rias. Understood. Surziches. I'm sure you didn't want to tell Issei about this. Rias. If I told him, would he be worried or would he try to help me? If I am only going to receive his help, he would feel that I am taking advantage of him, and I don't want that. At least I want to become a woman who can stand next to him. Surziches. He really deserves so much. Rias. You don't know him he is someone who would bear the blame alone and I wouldn't stand for that. Surziches. We will be in contact, be careful. He would cut off communication with him and quickly destroy any artifacts or objects used in communication. Rias. Ha this is hard. Without knowing it, a shadow was watching her in the window, since no human could climb it, it was not human, it was grey. Well Rizavam would enter the room. Rizavam. Hello my beautiful Rias. Rias. Hello, Rizavam. Rizavam. Oh because that cold expression I have great news and I want to show you many things. Rias. Exactly what things? Rizavam. The reason we came to the top floor is that I haven't let you in because I want you to see the huge surprise, you will be shocked. Rias. Okay. Rias would quickly get up from the spot and accompany Rizavam. Rizavam. You and I could be considered equal, we are traitors in the eyes of demons. Rias. Yes of course don't compare me to you, you damn disgusting bastard. Rizavam. When I saw you I couldn't believe it I had something special from the house of Gremory I Rizavam had something priceless in my hands, you know that beautiful red hair of yours attracts me, maybe we can get closer beyond the professional sphere. Rias. I'm sorry, it's not my goal I absolutely prefer to die than be touched by you. Rizavam. Oh how hard it is and that's how I like them. They would quickly get into the elevator and when they arrived what would be seen was the completed experiment. Two completely wide eyes, literally wide as if they were white spheres, were in front of them. But they emanated a tremendous feeling of power. Rias. What are those? Rizavam. A product from Madara. Rias. Madara himself from the Uchiha clan. Rizavam. That's right, we combined the Byakugan, Tensugan, Rinnegan and Sharingan eyes into one, it costs a lot to obtain them, in addition to different energies, they are the final result of all our effort, all for one, I plan it, I feel satisfied with it. Rias. Because they are blank they look like painted balls more than anything, they look unreal. Rizavam. It is because you have to put them on. He really reacts with chakra. His true form has not been seen yet. Something perfect for Madara with him. His strength will increase. He will be a true monster. Our power and weapons will be at a new stage. Rias. So that's the ultimate goal. Rizavam. I have also brought you to give you good news. Rias. Good news. Rizavam. Akeno and Issei are dead. Rias. Shock. Rizavam. Yes. You see, we needed blood from hybrids, and since you are now with us, we decided to get her blood from her. We didn't want to kill her originally, but she found out about our plans and the Red One got involved. There was no other way. Rias. They are dead. The words spoken by him simply stunned her. Her facial expression was distorting, but this area had an anti-mana device, and it was good because otherwise Ria's energy would get out of control. Until she controlled herself, she knew the situation and only waited for Rizavam's response to see how should the conversation continue. Rizavam. Yes, and don't worry, they were given all the support, mana nullifying machine, assassins and everything. They should return soon with their remains. Rias. Rizavam. Rizavam. Yes. Rias. I have heels on, right? Rizavam. Hey, if you have them, why? Rias. Thank you. Bang. He quickly kicked her with his heels in the stomach, which would make a loud sound and raise a strong wind. Rizavam. Spit saliva inside the room. There are mana nullifiers like. Rias. My ability as an awakened one gives me superhuman strength to hide the fact that I have a. Rizavam. I guess this is your statement of betrayal. Rias. No, your death will be. Rizavam. I don't think so, the drug will take effect. At that moment Rias would fall to his knees to the ground, his body felt numb. Rias. What? Rizavam. You will see the truth because of your peace of mind and your great information. I never thought you were a traitor. Rias. What have you done to me? Rizavam. I didn't think you were a traitor. This is my gift to an ally. Rias. Gift. Rizavam. I put certain herbs in your food in small quantities that prevent the movement of the body for this day. You see, I am surprised that you are a traitor, but that does not change the plans for you. Rias. Unfortunate. Rizavam. You are a woman and pretty, ally or not, my intention for you was to have that body of yours approaches slowly. Rias. Hey. Rizavam. I'm going to gape you so much that I'll make you enjoy it. You wouldn't be the first to break her mind and break her to the point of being unable to. You see, I have a weakness for pretty women. It's a little hobby. Rias. No, I don't want this. I don't want to be touched by someone like him. Rizavam. Now let me see that face of yours. Rias. Someone, whoever, please help. Burst. At that moment someone behind Rias would appear. It was Issei. Bang. As soon as he arrived he hit him in the face. Issei. Get your bucking hands off her. Rizavam didn't expect it to come. That blow was so strong that she quickly left him on the ground, although she didn't take long to get up again. Rizavam. Rejoins. Wow, wipes off the blood. I didn't expect this visit, especially because it made you dead. Red Dragon. Issei. It's Issei, you will remember that name when you die. Rias. Issei me. Issei. Don't say anything, the situation says more than 1,000 words. Rizavam. This is the only reason you get angry. Issei. Sorry just for this. Rizavam. A woman is just a bucking Issei object. After her words, Issei's anger was in the clouds. Issei. What? Rizavam. In fact, a woman should feel flattered to be raped by someone like me. Just ignore the situation and leave. Let me enjoy the moment. Issei. Flattered, that's what you think when trying to touch a woman. Rizavam. Isn't that right? I have money, I'm rich, if she lets me buck her I could give her a life, even if it's out of obligation. Women should all feel flattered to be mine. It's a game. Issei. Trying to touch someone's girlfriend, does it seem like a game to you? Rizavam. Of course I can give you many things, just give me the woman to take her and that's it. Issei. Rizavam, I have never met a person so disgusting, horrifying, and that makes me want to vomit just by seeing him in my life, and I have seen all kinds of bastards, so. You disgusting bastard. I will cut off your penis and make you eat it. Chapter 47. I love you. The atmosphere was tense, it was aggressive, it seemed like a war was going to break out. Issei. Rias approaches. Take this. Rias. Yes. Before arriving he had taken out a potion. Immediately upon consuming it, Rias was back in his normal state, the effects of the drug had been eliminated. Rizavam. Ho, although I am very interested in what you gave him to drink, I guess you won't stop to talk. Issei. Puts his hands on his back and pulls out the daggers from him. Rizavam. Look, Issei, as one of the main leaders, I can offer you peace and let you and her leave your country and come to ours. I promise not to touch the girl. After all, we gained an ally like the Red One. Issei. What part of cutting off your penis and making you swallow it didn't you understand? Rizavam. Sigh, seeing you here my doubts are clarified. Akeno survived and my men died. Issei. Exactly, and you know what will happen because of that stupid plan you made. Rizavam. The plan was not mine, one of my members devised it. Rias. Certainly he is not one for plans like these. Issei. You guys simply because you do this. Rizavam. And the world power speaks for itself. Issei, tell me it was different before all this, the hunters, clans and supernatural. The answer is no, the difference now is that there are more powerful people than back then. Issei. You are the leader of the Cows Brigade Guild. If I kill you, I can break them or cause them a hard blow. Rizivum. Ha 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 ha. He would start laughing madly, making Issei uneasy. Issei. That's so funny. Rizivum. The fact that you think I am the leader. Rias. Issei. Shocked that. Rizivum. There are more powerful individuals than me in my guild. Do you think I'm seriously the leader? No, at least I am or fulfill that role, but who is higher and who is more powerful would make you tremble. The real leaders are incredible. I'm just a genius strategist of many with a pretty face in the background for the guild. Rias. You are not the leader of all this. Rizivum. Each of its main members fulfills a function, whether it is attack, defense, support, artillery, strategy, destruction or creation. Each of us is in one of those roles. Certainly in the eyes of the world we manage everything, and I am the face public of the leader, but if you knew the truth of the world, you would realize how far I am from being the main leader. Issei. So what? You are going to tell me that the leaders or the leader are gods or kings? You are going to come out with that? Rizivum. Oh. No, gods and kings is not the word to describe them, the most accurate word would be monarchs. After saying those words, a chill ran down Issei's spine. He didn't know why, but that word had disturbed him. Rizivum. But let's stop talking. If you want to fight you will have your fight, but we have created an anti-mana device that is inside the building. Since they are limited, we only use it for emergencies like you are, plus I am your worst red enemy. I have the mana canceller sacred gear. I can cancel almost all of your sacred gear's abilities just by touching it. Issei. Rias, can you get up? Rias. Yes, gets up. Issei. Rizivum, if you think you have the advantage you were never more wrong. Rias would quickly throw Issei in his direction. Issei. I will cut you into pieces. Raises his dagger to cut him. Rizivum. Blocks it. Rias. You forget about me. I would stab him in the foot with my heels. Rizivum. TCH would use his arm and hit her towards the ground. Rias. Covers herself with his wings. Issei. I would knee him in the face. Rizivum. Back away, damn you. Issei. Physically we are not inferior to you. Rizivum. Well, congratulations, the couple will be buried together. Port, bang, burst. The battle was intense. Rizivum had no mercy. It demonstrated his strength as a super demon through his great physical strength. Issei used his daggers to try to cut him, but he was sharp and dodged. However, it was 2 against 1. They gradually gained the advantage. Ria's strength was incredible. She stuck her heels in Rizivum's crotch. Rizivum. Squirms, ah slut. Issei. Don't let your guard down. Port. He would make a big cut on his face, taking his right eye. Lead effect has been activated. Paralyze effect has been activated. Target resistance is too strong. Nullified effects. Issei. I guess he's called a super demon for a reason. Rizivum. I'm going to kill them both. I'm going to give you the most disgusting death possible, and I'm going to send your wife to the cheapest brothels in the city. Rias. Issei. Shut up, hits him in the face. Rizivum. Spits blood. I understand the woman who has that superhuman strength, but he is another story. I must kill him at any cost. He would get up from the floor, thinking that he had the advantage with his physical ability, but he soon realized his mistake. In fact, it would have been better to allow mana for him, but with the device of the building, doing so was impossible. Issei's voice immediately caught his attention. Issei. Hey, this seems very valuable to you. He held his eyes, the result of his experiments. Rizivum. Bastard, return that. Issei. Say goodbye to these eyes. But contrary to his actions, Issei would put his hands behind him, put his eyes in the inventory, and take out a potion after that. Crack. Issei's hands would pour red from the potion, but obviously to Rizivum's sight when he brought his hands behind his back, he destroyed everything that was planned in front of him. Rizivum. Seething with rage. You. Issei. How does it feel? Tell me that everything you work on breaks. Rizivum. First it was volley, then the tournament, and what's more, helping those third world players. Now you are here in front of me. You took away my eye, bleeding from one eye on my face. You took away my experiment. You know what I'm going to do to you. Issei. You keep chattering, but you are at a disadvantage here. Rizivum. I know, but I'm not going to leave until. At that moment a small magic circle would appear in Rizivum's ear. Bakabiel. Rizivum. Leave the place. Rizivum. What, I won't kill them. Bakabiel. You are a good tactical master. We cannot lose you. If you want to die, let it be another day. You know you have no advantage. They are 2 against 1. They can catch you off guard. In addition, they have multiple attack combinations just because there are 2. Rizivum. You want me to leave so dissatisfied? I lost an eye because of these wretches. Bakabiel. Will recover. Rizivum. Don't ask me to leave. Bakabiel. All for one, he deceived us. His plan goes beyond everything we believe, and he put you in that situation. I have it here in front of me. Rizivum. What, shocked? Bakabiel. He said they won't come out unscathed. Believe me, come back. Rizivum. I'll wait for an explanation from him later and he better give me something to satisfy my anger. Dekabiel. Don't worry, he will do it. After those words the communication would be cut off and he would look at Issei with intense fury. Rizavum. You rot Issei, I will remember you. Issei. You plan to escape. Issei would quickly approach. He would not allow him to escape not alive, but at that moment he would take out a sphere from his suit that apparently contained a powerful spell. Rizavum. The zone is anti-mana, but previously cast spells are another story. Rias. Issei. Rias, with his physical ability, would get in front of Issei without a problem and use his wings to protect him from the explosion. Often Rizavum would escape by making a hole in the wall looking at it from afar. Rizavum. Traitors pay the price. After saying that he would fly away. While upstairs Issei approached the window quickly but only observed the empty sky. Seeing the situation he knew that Rizavum escaped. He would live longer than Issei wanted, but he knew that sooner or later he would fall into his hands for hurting the people he cares about. Rias. You're fine. Issei. Yes, I'm sorry you had to receive the attack. Rias. It was the least he could do. Ha. Issei. Yes, I'm sorry for doubting you. Rias. Hey. Issei. I found out that you were in the Cows Brigade and I felt like I lost something valuable. Rias. Silly, you're not going to lose me, I'll never let you go. Issei. For a moment I thought the world was upside down. Rias. It was my fault for not telling you anything, but if you continue helping me how will I be able to stand by your side? Issei. You can always do it, you don't need to prove anything. Rias. I felt that I needed it. Issei. After this I want to rest. Rias. Me too. Issei. Fighting with that bastard makes me tired, but I feel more tired than normal even with Akeno's help. My body's chakra has shown to be restless after that event. I feel that my body is going through a strengthening change. Maybe that's the reason for the tiredness I've been feeling, even my muscles feel paralyzed. Rias. By the way, something happened while I was away. Issei. Well, Akeno. Rias. So something happened between you. Issei. Seriously, it doesn't bother you. Rias. I told you a long time ago that I wouldn't care who you were with as long as it's real love and I get along well with Akeno, she's my friend. I mean, it's not like I took your virginity. Issei. Hey. Rias. Looks at him with dark eyes maybe. Issei. He had to use something called sacred prostitution to save my life. Rias. Issei, when we return we will have a long talk. Issei. Yes. I know. Sorry for that. Rias. Sighs, but I'm glad you're okay. Issei. Smiles. Next time you need help, don't hesitate to ask me, I'll cross the other side of the world for you. Rias. Smiled. Yes, next time. Issei. Well, we should go, things will get complicated. Rias. If I want to see Akeno and my family, I also want to talk to Stella and I want to do many things. At that moment an earthquake began to occur from the lower floor. Issei. What's happening? Rias. I think the whole building is collapsing. Issei. This must be the work of the Cows Brigade. Elsewhere. Asara. What's wrong? I see you a little sad. Mine. I'm listening to this song and it's beautiful but at the same time nostalgic. Asara. Sigh, really it's a Chinese song, right? Mine. Stella recommended her to me, we've been in touch lately, but you laugh, she always seems to be busy, don't you think? Asara. Knowing her, she is surely attending to important matters. Mine. I hope to see my friend soon. Asara. Mine, can you lift up the music, I want to listen to it too. At that moment the music began to play gently. With Issei, the tremor would continue to crack the entire building. Rias. We must go quickly. Issei. Yes, the place was collapsing, the top floor of the building was about to collapse. Issei was exhausted, but he could move even if it wasn't much, however Rias couldn't even raise his wings. Issei. What's wrong? Rias. The previous attack I received must have affected me, I can't move my wings. Issei. Wait there, I'll carry you. Crack. Rias. Hey. Issei. Laughs, and at that moment the ground above the estuaries crumbled. Issei, with the little strength he had, jumped to try to save her seconds later. And that while the fall felt eternal, memories of him and her ran through her heads at the same time. Slowly breaking like glass, sweet beautiful memories seemed to be faded and remembered at the same time. You know, Issei, it feels like time stops when I'm with you. Issei. No, why do you say that? It's very embarrassing. Let's be honest, they say that when you are with the person you love, it feels like time passes super slowly. Rias. Smiles. You know, Issei, if we were in a life or death situation, what would you do? I would try to save you with everything I have, I wouldn't let you die. Every time you say that my love for you grows more, but you should know that just as you are willing to die for me, I am willing to die for you. I also give you my word that this will never happen. Issei. Please. Rias, I can know what you like about me. That's a tough question. I honestly don't know where to start. Saying everything would sound like an excuse not to fail, but if I had to say it, just to say that's what I like about you. You don't have to have powers, be a hunter or do a great feat, just be normal. Issei, that's how I like you. In other words, do you like my body? No, silly, I like your heart, your soul, you always fight to protect, and you are not blinded by power, no matter how much you acquire. You know how to do the right thing or make the right decisions, you do not take advantage of the weak, and you always fight for your family. Rias. Issei. But you know, if I were born again, I wouldn't ask to be rich, or be a demon or a Grimoire family. You know, I would just ask to be a normal girl and meet you. Would you be satisfied with just that? I would be, because I would like to meet you again and again. In this infinite cosmos, universe or even multiverse, I only want to be one thing. You laugh, just that, you laugh, Issei girlfriend, that alone is enough for me. I do not need money, I don't need fame, I don't need attention. What I need and want is Issei. Issei. Please wait. Rias. Calm down. If you and I at some point face a difficulty, and precisely at that moment saving myself is difficult, I want you to know this: I don't care if you have more girlfriends. After all, I want you to be happy and move on with your life. You also don't need to blame or hate yourself for that moment. You can move on. Obviously I know it won't be easy. Honestly, you laugh, I don't want to see a situation like that. It doesn't matter, Issei, because even if that situation were to happen, I will tell you. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Then you will know. It's not your fault anything that happens. After all, I must have put myself in that situation. Even so, I don't want that. Rias, I will save you. It is my duty to save you. Look so serious, and I'm just saying maybe. Rias. Issei. No. Please. But if that could happen, I would have many questions. If we had a family, what would we have called our children? If I hadn't died, what would our path together be like? How much more deeply would you know? Please don't talk like that, you're scaring me. I'm sure everything is fine. If everything is fine. You know, I wanted to tell you that I will go on a mission to the United States on behalf of my family. Seriously, then it must be important. It is, in fact, it is something that I am doubting because it can involve people from my family. Also, if I am not there, my family, Akeno and the others. Then I will protect them for you when you are gone, and if you need more help you just have to ask me. I will always be there for you. Rias. Thank you. Issei. No. Another thing, Issei, if that day of almost dying will happen, listen to this carefully. I want you to know that I would say this. I would tell the sky, to the earth, to the hell, even to the ends of the universe. I would say, out loud and so you could hear, so you know that I love you with everything I have. I would scream with all my last strength, for all the world to witness, so that space, time and destiny can be witnesses of our love. I would scream. Rias. I love you, Hyoudou. Issei. No. At that moment Rias put on a huge smile, and below her the silhouette and shine of a sacred sword, without knowing what she was doing there at that moment, but there the edge of it was straight and vertically pointing upwards. She crossed rivers spreading her blood. Rias. Issei. Thank you. For existing in my life. Smiles. So after saying those words I would smile and put on the best smile in the world, because I would die without any regrets. I was very happy in this short time with you. Issei would fall to the ground and take out the sacred sword, but there is nothing he could do or try. He held his arms to see his pulse, he tried to see his breathing, he even took out thousands of potions from the inventory, but it didn't work. What he could see in that face while blood was coming out of his mouth and his eyes were gray and lifeless was a smile of love towards him. Issei. Hi. But you know one thing, Issei, I really don't want to leave your side. That day Rias Grimoire died. Chapter 48. A storm is coming. Attention firefighters, move quickly, we can't let this expand. Police, get the civilians out quickly. May God have mercy on us. An incredible scene of destruction is seen. It was not possible to know the beginning or end of that disastrous event, only that the destruction continued. 1 week later, a storm cloud surrounded Japan, especially in Kuo. The weather was simply horrible. Many people carried an umbrella, plus they were dressed in black, and that was for a funeral, but not just any funeral, the funeral of Rias Grimoire. In the valley she stood with her head bowed and silent next to her sister. Lucifina. Brother, are you okay? Ali. I'm just reflecting. Lucifina. Nothing that happened is your fault. Ali. No, possibly it is. If only I were there, Issei wouldn't have had to go through this. Lucifina. Brother. Ali. I think this event will generate a big change. Lucifina. Still, because Issei didn't come. Ali. He can't. He is broken, after all he is a human being. It is better to leave him alone. Lucifina. By the way, the incident in Miami, you were there, what happened? Ali. Close his eyes. Issei's heart was broken, and many innocent people paid the price. Lucifina. Don't tell me more. At her funeral you could see that not only was Vali with her sister, but also absolutely all of Ria's acquaintances, friends and family were there in the streets, giving her a burial worthy of the person she was. Azazel. This situation for me is one of the worst scenarios. Ajuka. I know, when the boy brought Ria's body I had to control Surzich's, he was willing to start the Third World War for it. Azazel. Above all, the boy scares me the most. All Might. They think he can do something. Azazel. He will definitely do something. With Surzich's we can try to calm him down and make him reason, but honestly after what he did, I don't think he will stop to think. All Might. It's about Miami. Azazel. Yes, the number of dead there was, not all of Miami, according to the news, was on fire, an unprecedented disaster. Ajuka. The situation of why is still a mystery that makes you think that he was the one who caused that disaster. Azazel. He had a look in his eyes, that Issei boy had a blank look in his eyes like he didn't care about anything. All Might. We will let it be. Azazel. If he is not united to a family or guild, we cannot do anything, nor prohibit his actions. Of course, he will be responsible for it if he does something that is wrong, but there is not much we can do after that day. We have not seen it clearly. New. All Might. I feel like some things are going to change. The view changed to the perspective of other people, this time it was childhood friend Stella and me. Stella. Mine. Mine? Yes. Stella. I can't find the right word to say it, it feels like we haven't had time to see our friend again. Mine. Horrible. Yes, you know Stella, when I found out I asked myself why this happened after destroying my house, of course, since I was very angry, I'm still not. Stella. I am too, I want those booking bastards to burn in the fire and burn forever. Mine. I only have one question. Rias boasted that her boyfriend was a great person. Stella. It was true. Mine. Then why didn't she come? Stella. He also asked me, he's supposed to be her boyfriend. While the funeral event was taking place in Kuo, at the Cows Brigade Guild headquarters, a talk between All For One and Kakabiel took place. All For One. As Rizavim is, I'm surprised he hasn't come yet. Kakabiel. He is still recovering from the previous attacks, it may have been a week, but the injuries were serious, he lost an eye in the battle, and he was very angry, it wasn't until he told him about Rias Gremory's death that he calmed down. All For One. I told you, his anger was only temporary. Kakabiel. He asked me how much did you plan? All For One. It was very easy to calculate that Rias Gremory joining us was obviously an element of benefit as well as care. After extensive surveillance, I could see that she was a spy after several little noticed movements, except for me, of course, it should be noted that they were suspicions. And I wasn't sure. Kakabiel. However, I had to leave Grigori and the spies have been killed. All For One. Naturally she was at the meeting where we all didn't meet, although many of us hid our faces she was able to deduce who you really were. She was an intelligent girl, but thank you, if I hadn't warned you and you stayed there, Surzich's would have killed you in front of everyone. Kakabiel. It's funny how I have to thank the person who put me in a situation that could have killed me. All For One. Don't feel bad, my plan needed a lot of factors to align. For example, I told Madara about the experiment with my eyes so that he would leave the clan and get a lot of raw materials with which to continue experimenting. Kakabiel. And have you thought about how to explain to Madara that her precious eyes were destroyed by Red, according to Rizavim's words? All For One. It is not necessary because their forces were divided, one searching for the eyes and others fighting with Madara. They did not notice that my men infiltrated their respective clans and looted tombs and scrolls about chakra, jutsu among other things, after the tombs where the corpses were. They were sealed again, so when they notice that something is wrong and see that there is nothing in the tombs, it will be too late if they notice it. Kakabiel. Your plan was not to create the eyes originally, it was to loot raw materials from the clans, corpses and techniques. All For One. That's right, with the current raw material we have enough for more experiments, so Madara won't get angry, since I will be able to improve her eyes, plus with the techniques we stole, and information about the chakra our arsenal will expand. Kakabiel. But what if Rias had not been a traitor, how would you have faced that? All For One. Easy, I was sure that Red would win the battle with the 50,000 men, because I made speculations regarding his power level. Kakabiel. But thanks to that we lost many men. All For One. Mistake, all those men were the weakest, I sent the weakest men to get rid of them and eliminate unnecessary expenses, the only strong one there was Enti. Kakabiel. So from the beginning you knew that this was going to happen. All For One. According to my plan, one of them would mention Rias, which would cause Red to go after her. Kakabiel. But if she was a traitor, the problem with Rizavim and Red as. All For One. I sent 2 people to intervene who were observing the entire building through the cameras without Rizavim realizing it. In case she was not a traitor, she would be saved, and if she was, they would kill her. Kakabiel. Thanks to that we removed a traitor, we gained materials to experiment and study, in addition to the expansion of our arsenal. Everything was always in the palm of your hand, you tricked your allies into doing everything you wanted. All For One. You know the saying, fool your allies first and your enemies later. Kakabiel. I underestimated you for being human and I apologize for that, you are definitely a first-hand strategist. All For One. Either way there were only benefits for us. Kakabiel. By the way, who killed Rias Gremory and how? All for one. Those would be us. All for one. Let me introduce them to you, one of them is my successor, and the other is a misguided priest. Shigaraki Tamura. Fried Selson. Shigaraki. Master, everything went as planned. I hope you let me have fun with that. All for one. Of course Shigaraki, you did well, I will keep my word. Fried. Everything went as planned. Bakabiel. Since you killed Rias, her power is very low. Fried. Opens his coat, it's because of these beautiful swords. Bakabiel. You those are. All for one. Fried is a priest who works for the church or work now he is our member because he loves violence above all. He felt that the church limited him and when he left it, he stole the sacred swords. Holy swords, weapons that are incredibly deadly to demons. Fried. Although he sucks, I couldn't take them all, I have most of them with me. Bakabiel. Then explain to me how the plan was. Shigaraki. Although it was difficult to work with this idiot, we came to an agreement. Fried. Oh, that hurts, haha, but it's true, we came to an agreement to fulfill our mission. Shigaraki. Thanks to the power that the teacher gave me, I can disintegrate everything I touch with my 5 fingers, regardless of whether it is organic or not, and it can also spread. That's how I caused the building to collapse. Fried. There is between me, despite my appearance, I have an awakening ability that allows me to calculate. Shigaraki. Certainly, however, teacher was of great help in calculating the direction trajectory of the target in this case. Rias can predict where and when the subject Rias and the sacred sword will collide in this case. Fried. Through those calculations, I left my sacred sword on the lower floor tied in vertically so that when it fell it would pierce his heart. It's a shame we didn't stay to see the show. Shigaraki. In the end the girl died as she had requested. Bakabiel. Certainly everything turned out great for us. All for one. I would not dare to affirm that, although it is true that we dealt a hard blow for many, now we must wait for the return of that blow. Bakabiel. What do you mean? All for one. I would say that Surziches could make things very difficult for us, plus he freed the sword that killed Rias who happened to her. Fried. I honestly lost it, I wanted to get it back, but then the incident happened, all of Miami was destroyed. Shigaraki. Honestly we don't know the cause either, but everything points to it being a monster, however we found no evidence of anything else. Bakabiel. Monster perhaps. All for one. Those above would not dare to attack our side, for now we must investigate the incident. Shigaraki. That will be difficult, there is no trace, however I can say that there are no signs of the fire, but it seems that the fire was caused secondarily, generated by a first force. All for one. Anyway, let's be smart and not make sudden movements. For now I suggest that the Cows Brigade stay in normal guild activities for a while, and then return to our actions. We have to keep our heads off for now. Bakabiel. I agree, in war even the ceasefire is necessary for a better strategy. All for one. Then it's decided. In this way the actions of the Cows Brigade Guild would stop for a while, preparing for a new attack in the future. At Ria's funeral, people were already where she was going to be buried. Hiba. Issei and Akeno because they are not there. Hineko. Akeno knows the damage that was caused to Issei, that is why she was absent to go support him, although it is also difficult for her, for everyone rather. Hiba. I killed Rias. Hineko. According to the few words that Issei said, a sacred sword. Hiba. Clenches his fists and the sword. Hineko. Possibly she was destroyed, Issei was only carrying Ria's body. Hiba. Well honestly I want to bury those bastards because of the Rias, but with the sacred swords, this makes it the icing on the cake, I won't hold back at all. Hineko. According to Surziches they won't act after this. Hiba. Then we will wait for you. The burial is carried out while everyone watches in silence. But Issei was locked in her room sitting staring at nothing. She died because of you. You said you would protect her. You're weak. Every time she looked at her hand she could only see blood on her blood, Ria's blood. Issei. This is hell. Issei 2, hello. Issei. Again. Ha. Last time I was on the verge of death because of the job change quest, I'm so bad now. Issei 2, death is not only the death of life, it is also the death of the heart. Issei. Ha, why did you come last time? You only came to screw me with your words. Issei 2. Issei. Well, go ahead and say it. Say I was weak, I was a loser, that if my doubts had never been there she would live, that if folly had been there she would live, everything would be fine. Go ahead, say it. Say she died because of my bucking negligence. Issei was devastated, the tears were coming out of him, he had no reason to stand up, he was at the bottom. Issei. Because she, why not me? Simply because she lost and not me. Issei 2. Issei. Tell me why I can't lose. Issei 2, look at yourself, Issei. Look in the mirror. You lost more than anyone else. Issei. Ha, you said that luck is also a skill. Issei 2, and it is, but sometimes it's a curse. Issei. What did you come to tell me? Issei 2, just don't die miserably. After that the image of her past self would be gone and would remain still and inert there. Until knock knock knock. Issei. Akeno. Issei. Issei. Shocked Akeno. Akeno. Issei, can you come out? Issei. No, I really can't. Akeno. Do you want me to tell you that everything is fine? Issei. Akeno, you don't have to. Akeno. Well, nothing is fine, okay, she was my best friend and I thought she was a traitor. My last thought of her before she died was that she was a traitor. Issei. Why are you telling me that? Akeno. Because I don't want you to take all the blame, you understand. I don't want to see you rot in your room. Issei. I made you doubt her, I couldn't save her, what makes me do that? Akeno. Being here is not the solution. Issei. I can't show my face, I don't dare. Akeno. Issei. Please. Akeno's tears flowed. Akeno. Please don't you dare dishonor his memory. Issei. And what am I supposed to do? Akeno. Be strong. Issei. I can't alone. Akeno. Crying, you are not alone. Issei. Akeno. Akeno. I'm not her, I'm not a replacement, I can simply be Akeno and give you my support as Akeno, please let me help you. After her words, Issei let out some tears. He remembered her moments with her, the smile he wanted to be, and the hardest thing was the reason and the only truth. But those precious moments would be the past and would belong to the past forever. Issei weakly got up and opened the door, showing a hurt face. Akeno hugged him, sharing her pain and crying together until the night. That day she had to get up even if she didn't have the strength because she had to keep fighting. As much as it hurt, Issei had to keep going even if he didn't want to. The news of Rias Gremory's death reached everyone outside of Japan. Of course this shocked the world and alerted many forces, now everyone had to move carefully. The Gremory house had a grudge that they planned to pay with blood. That day the world was silent as if they were preparing for future disasters. While Issei and Akeno visited Ria's tomb at dusk with a bouquet of red roses. Issei. I'm sorry I came to see you so late. Akeno. I apologize too. The place was covered in flowers, most of them were red roses, highlighting what her family's idea was, so that she would always be remembered. Issei. Laughs, he constantly asked me why you and not me, but I suppose couples who go through this wonder the same thing. Honestly, it's not going to be very easy for me to move forward, I'll make a lot of mistakes, especially like in Miami. I let myself be overwhelmed by anger and ended up with everything. Miami stained my innocent hands both directly and indirectly, but I will try to move on. Akeno. I promise you that I will take good care of Issei. You know, if you were alive, we would surely be in a fun discussion, and I would like to have spent that time as my friend. Regardless of whether Issei's decisions are good, bad or drastic, I will follow them because I have sworn to follow him. Issei. I promise you that your blood will not go unpunished, and I will make heads run. Akeno. Me too, this injustice will be paid for. Issei. I love you, Rias Gremory, so please rest in peace. But those last words she would finish her farewell. You never know when a storm will come. Tetsuya. Miyuki. Brother, I see you thoughtful. Tetsuya. It is because of the death of Rias. Miyuki. I know something like that will have consequences with the angry Gremory. Tetsuya. I don't care about them. Miyuki. Then what is it? Tetsuya. I am worried that someone with a broken heart will enter a path that will have to be followed to the end without considering the consequences. What is known is that storms have consequences. Iki. Base it like this mine. Asara. Hurt and Stella. Iki. Also, Asara. Sometimes show signs of improving, others of worsening. Iki. Yes, honestly, we must become strong. I think that in the future it will be necessary. The decisions we make and will make will determine our entire past and future. You. Charlotte, let's go home, the weather is bad. Charlotte. If the night seems colder than usual, but there will always be consequences, you can't escape them. Tatsumi. Mine, did you hear the news? Mine. Yes, you think it will happen. Tatsumi. It's hard to tell you and it came. Mine. She went on a trip, you know she doesn't stay still in one place, let her be. Tatsumi. These days it's better not to be alone, but when you face these consequences you survive or you die. Tanjiro. Nezuko, the food. Nezuko. I'm coming. Tanjiro. Nezuko adds more fuel to the fireplace. It seems like it will snow a lot today. At the end of the day, that's what the world is about, whether you like it or not. Natsu. Lucy. Natsu, everything is fine. Natsu. I find the fate of the Gremory girl very sad. Lucy. Yes, it is true, but don't worry, there is nothing to worry about, they will solve it. Natsu. I once heard a saying, if you hurt a dragon make sure you kill it, a dragon's grudge is until death. Lucy. Hey. Natsu. I think the dragons are angry. But if a storm brings consequences, then there must also be things that bring consequences to the storm. Akeno. How do you feel, Issei? Issei. It's hard, but I'll know how to handle it. Akeno. I will support you. Issei. Akeno, you will really support me in everything. Akeno. Definitely. Issei. This world is wrong, I want to correct it, change it. For this I need not only power but influence, so I would like to create a guild to exert influence and begin my sovereignty. Akeno. Surprised, I understand what you mean and I will always support you. Smiles, your word will be law. Issei. Okay Akeno, let's start this hard path to change this world, to make it better, to dominate the world. Chapter 49. Issei again. Arc 5 starts. They say that love is something valuable, sooner or later everyone falls in love. You never prepare to love. Nobody does it. Every person in this world has that someone waiting for them. Regardless of whether others like that someone, it doesn't matter, the important thing is that you love her and she loves you. If you never prepare yourself to love, then you never ever prepare yourself to lose that love. Because it can destroy you, break you, going very crazy. You fill yourself with anger. Since Rias died I feel like shit, and since that day I feel that something in my change, something wants to come out. Since then I've been fighting a war against time and the world and myself. The flames of revenge burn in me. From that day I swore that the ashes of the Issei would be the ashes of the world. This is the prologue of my story. 2 weeks after Rias' funeral. Ring ring, bang, ring ring, bang. Answering machine, please leave your message. Brother, it's me, Ika. I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks and well, I've left you a lot of messages. I think a lot isn't the right word. I don't want to ask when you're coming home. Honestly, I don't think that's a question. You can answer it. The reality is that it's not just me who should talk to you. In fact, many people want to talk to you, brother. Since the funeral I have sent you messages, I have not received a response. But I know you listen to them. You know Vali has been waiting for answers from you. You haven't come to the academy either, and I don't know what it must be like or what you must feel. After all, your relationship with Rias was something that, well, none of us delved into. You have family to lean on. If you are going to do something crazy, I want you to know. You have my support. I will not stop you. I will help you. I love you, brother. Hang. Issei. I'm going out. Civil. The rumors of Rias' Gremory still continue. Civil 2, what did you expect? Everyone asks about her death or who killed her, but does not give an exact answer. The Gremory family remains silent. Civilian. That means she is a force capable of rendering them immobile, and that is what is scary. Civilian 3, not only that but the other factions and guilds are silent. Civil. It is a matter of time before some conflict breaks out and everyone is afraid of it, even the hunters. Issei. Still they keep talking and they don't stop. I should kill them. I have the power to do it. Rias. Issei. Issei. Hey. Rias. Let's go back home. Issei. Yes, forgive me, I got angry again. Rias. Calm down, I'm here. How long have I been like this, broken? Since Akeno promised to help me, I told him I would take some time to train. Training, I could barely stay sane without sanity. My strength will be of no use. I felt it. The shadows, they screamed. They were screaming the screams of the fallen for the loss of the king's lover. She was going crazy. Rias. Have some homemade food. I noticed you haven't eaten much. Issei. Thank you. So I had to take some time for myself to think, not to go suicidal. If it was going to be something, I had to do it right. The eyes, the Cows Brigade experiment, I took them out of my inventory. I was going to destroy it, but then I saw its status window. Item. Absolute eyes. Item class. Impossible to measure. Type. Insert. Eyes combined by a unique process. He inherited the ability of the other eyes that were used as materials for his creation, in addition to being able to control all the chakra around him and block whoever wants the ability to use it. However, that option will be under the margin of the user level. It also has other options, and they will evolve along with the user's level. When I saw them, I could see an opportunity. A weapon that they created would be used to destroy them, so I called the hospital and requested an eye transplant. Of course I had to have tests done. Rias. Issei. Don't you think you should talk to your family? Issei. I'm not ready yet. Rias. I understand, sorry for asking, I know it's a sensitive topic. Issei. It's okay, I know you're trying hard to take care of someone useless like me. Rias. You are not useless. That being said, it's not like I could avoid the exams legally, and with my current position I couldn't go anywhere to get them done, even the illegal ones, since they were going to gouge out my eyes. If they were going to do it, it would have to be a legal and trustworthy doctor. Rias of course was on duty and saw my entire file, so I didn't seem to need a transplant. She came to visit me, obviously needed a series of permits and to take responsibility if something bad happened. But Rias found me on the floor. Anxiety was eating me up inside. I wanted to tear someone apart. I couldn't stand being at home. No, rather I couldn't stand being anywhere. Rias was only able to hug me and give me a diagnosis. He was suffering from a mental breakdown, he told me bluntly. Of course I couldn't deny it, seeing my house and my little daily food. Rias. The wall of your room has dents again. Issei. I'm sorry, I was thinking a lot more than I should have. Rias. Issei, as a nurse you expect me to know more about medicine, but when dealing with patients I know a lot more about psychology, and you must find stability, your cornerstone, something that can get you out of this situation. Issei. I try but I can't find anything. Rias. Only you can know what it is before things get worse. But not only did I have a mental break, I was very close to having a psychotic break. And a hunter with my powers having a psychotic episode is putting many lives at stake. I am anxious to go out, but as I always hear rumors of estuaries and their death, then the desire to kill them takes over. My Roswis appears at that moment to stop me, as if his words had an effect on me. She controls when I go out to prevent her from committing genocide and killing innocent people. She has been supporting me, and I started to like her emotionally, but I can't open my heart so easily, because I feel like I won't be able to protect her. I also feel very useless. The screams of the shadows haven't stopped, and I don't know how I can stop the screams. Issei. Roswis. Thanks for everything. Roswis. Smiles. It's nothing, and you remember, I was the one who asked for your number that day, right? Issei. Smiles. I'll go get some sleep. After eating a little he would go up to the room where he would go to sleep, but when he fell asleep the nightmares would haunt him. Because you didn't do anything, you stayed watching, you didn't do shit. If you can't even protect a person, you really call yourself strong. Disgraceful. And she died because of you and everyone else too. That sword killed her. It means that the murderer is still free out there, breathing the same air as you, eating calmly. Hey Issei, that's fine. It rubs in your face that he killed her, buried her, put her underground so well. Surely she enjoyed killing her, maybe it gave her tremendous pleasure, and she is still free there. Everything is your fault. Your decisions, your results. Issei, why didn't you do anything? Issei, why did you stay still? Tell me, Issei, who caused this? Can you speak? Issei. Issei. Wake up. Again the dream. The dark voices do not stop. I can feel the aggressiveness. Even my voice becomes dark when my mind becomes aggressive and with desire for blood. I need to calm down. I think I will talk to Roswis. He would slowly walk down the stairs but stop halfway. Issei. Because there is blood down there dripping. Issei's energy went out of control immediately. Under the stairs she could see everything destroyed, and a note with blood had a piece of Roswis's hair with a drop of blood. If you want the girl, come to the park without anyone. Seeing this, his shadowy energy destroyed the walls of the building around him, his face was deformed, and immediately a dark beam crossed the walls of the building. He flew through the air, the killing intent was at its limit. In the park, Roswis was bound by magic, chains wrapped around her. In front of her was none other than the god of lies, Loki. Loki. He asked me how long it will take to realize that I have you. Roswis. What are you planning? Loki. I managed to use magic that blocks the sound in Issei's room and in the building, otherwise attacking Issei sleeping would be easy since her mental health is not in a stable state. Loki. Since the death of Rias, many factions are looking for rats that leak information thanks to Kakabiel. Of course that damn one was one of them. He left in time. We even have in the churcher we had, they must be being purged. Roswis. We have your traitor. Loki. Correct, I need to leave the country quickly, and what better to have the red head to rise quickly in the organization. Roswis. Do you mean that your organization did not order this? Loki. Them. After Ria's death they remain silent and far from all matters. They understand their position. They do not want to add fuel to the fire. I do this for my own benefit. Roswis. How can you be so odd and will not overlook it? Loki. Loki. That's why I need Red. With his head I gain more trust and protection. I heard that Rizavim has him on the kill list. He must have made him angry. He'll even give you a good position if you bring him his head in a box. Roswis. You bastard. Loki. You may think I'm doing something crazy. Roswis. I totally don't even know why you're so upset. Loki. That reaction is normal, but you don't actually know anything and no one does. You think that betraying the entire Norse religion is crazy. Roswis. And it's not like that. If they catch you, you understand what they will do to you. Loki. It's nothing compared to being against the Cows Brigade. Believe me, their false leaders who appear on cameras don't matter to me at all, but those who are behind it, your blood freezes with fear, as if you think you have achieved a high power, and then you know him, then you are an ant in a very big universe. Roswis. You are afraid of leaders since you are a monster. Loki. You have no idea the definition of that word. Look at me. I'm a Norse god. I could immobilize you. I created a magical barrier isolated from reality for confrontation that any supernatural being or hunter can go through to fight, but I'm still nothing compared to them. Roswis. I won't let you hurt Issei. Loki. Great words for one who is tied with the chains of the underworld. You don't realize when you see her chains even Hades of the Olympians is turning in their favor. Roswis. Hades too shocked. Loki. A war is coming, and I want to be on the right side, and hasty actions like this are not things you can stop to think about. Sometimes the craziest actions will be the most necessary. At that moment a ray of light in the shape of a cut would come out towards Loki. Loki. Dodges it. Zenovia. I wondered what was happening when a barrier was deployed, but I didn't expect this is the Norse god Loki. Loki. Oh, we have Roswis guests, but they are not the person I expect. I will have to kill them and clean the floor full of blood before their arrival. Arena. You talk a lot. Behind him Arena appeared with her sword ready to cut him into pieces. Loki. Stops him with his fingers. Idiotic humans think their sacred swords will do something to me. Don't even think about it, you don't have a chance. Zenovia. She recognized them instantly. Loki. I didn't know that the church would send 2 of its best women among its ranks, however, that's all, a human cannot defeat a god. Zenobia. We'll see about that. Shock, port, shock, bang, shock, Loki. His powers are so weak that they wouldn't buy me. Zenobia. You think so? Irina. Reality distortion. Loki. Hey. Immediately, Irina's sacred sword pierced Loki's hand. Loki. Og, what the hell? Zenobia. Irina has the ability to distort reality to appear in front of a seen target. His ability is greater than teleportation. Unless you are a monster with super developed senses, not even the strongest ones notice his presence. Irina. Zenobia now. Zenobia. Destroyer. Loki. You. Zenobia. On the other hand, I have the ability to destroy everything I touch. Fortunately, I am able to materialize it in my sword and redirect it combined with my sacred sword. You can be a god, but you are going to bleed. Immediately when the attack was launched, Loki's face was distorted, and once it was revealed, half of his face was burned off. Loki. Damn. Irina. Breaks Roswis's chains. You're fine. Roswis. Thank you, but it's not over. If Loki gets serious, we will be bombarded by attacks. Zenobia. Even without holding back, he only received a burn on his face. Roswis. A god's magic defense is too high. Zenobia. There is coming. Roswis. Gets ready. Loki. I'm going to destroy you. When I have the body of each of you, I will torture you one by one. At that moment, Loki's magical power was completely released that distorted the air. A terrifying aura formed around him. Irina. We have to think about how to get out of this or else we will die. Loki. They won't leave and no one is going to stop me. At that moment, in front of Loki, in full view of everyone, something collided with him and immediately put him on the ground. Leaving only dust to be seen as he slowly cleared up, he showed Issei on top of Loki stepping on his face. Irina. That's it, Issei. You know, I always wanted to say something to God because of everything that has happened to me. I wanted to say something to God. Zenobia. Yes, there is no doubt. Hyoudou. Issei. Issei. I wanted to tell God. Roswis. Issei. Issei. Hey God, my shoe feels on your face. Loki. You. Zenobia. Hyoudou. Issei. Loki. Don't underestimate me, boy. Issei. Kicks him. Loki immediately recomposed himself on the ground and went to hit Issei, and he in turn did the same. Issei's blows hit his face, and Loki's hit his in a brutal way. Loki. Spits blood. Killing you won't be easy. Irina. Can physically fight on par with a god. Roswis. But it's inefficient at this rate. He'll lose. Damn, if he could just go back to being the way he was before. Zenobia. I don't understand what happened to Issei. Roswis. Since the death of Rias, who apparently had a relationship between them, his mind has gone through instability. Loki. Interesting human. Issei. Hi. Bang. Shock. Bang. Issei. Ha hits him in the stomach. Loki. Breaks his arm. Zenobia. Still she doesn't stop. Even when her arm was broken, she keeps hitting with her broken arm. Irina. But why don't you use red? Roswis. Mental instability prevents him from thinking clearly. His intelligence and other functions are limited. Like an animal blinded by anger, his combat capacity is reduced not by power, but by thought. Zenobia. Damn, there is no way to help him. If he keeps fighting like this with Loki, he will die. Roswis. I've been doing that for 2 weeks, but it's not just your mind, it's also your heart. It's difficult in that psychological aspect. You can replace one object with another, but not one person with another. Issei. Goes through the eye. Loki. Bastard shoots him in the eye. Issei. Steps back. They would brutally beat each other, attacking vital, important and deadly points on the body. Irina. There must be something. Roswis. I tried a lot, but only time can heal him. The mental breakdown could become psychotic. I have calculated when he comes out I follow him. I always enter the shadows, and the rumor of Ria's death has not calmed down in the streets. He can murder innocent civilians. That's why I keep an eye on it. Zenobia. There must be something. There is always a method. Roswis. Yes, there always is, but not so unorthodox. Irina. That means you have a way. Bang. Shock. Break. Roswis. My awakening ability is internal subconscious. It received that name since it is not for battles, nor support, it is more for therapy. Zenobia. Therapy. Roswis. The hunters face monsters every day, including gods and demons, and some of them cause trauma. With my ability I can get into Issei's mind. Irina. If you do it, Issei will return to normal. Zenobia. But if you had this method, why didn't you use it before? Roswis. The person's mind should be calm and undisturbed at the time I enter and resolve the trauma, but Issei has remained aggressive the entire time. In other words, Zenobia. You enter and you can die. Roswis. In any case we could both die, although I a little sooner. After all, in the subconscious time passes slowly. Zenobia. It is definitely a risky method. Roswis. But given the situation it must be done. Bang. Shock. The brutal exchange of blows continued. Loki had burned Issei's abdomen, and he continued hitting him. Zenobia. It's dangerous. Roswis. Sigh, but I asked to be close to him, I can't escape halfway, you know that idiot, in these 2 weeks I've gotten to know him so much that I already like him. Smiles. Arena. We will take care of your body. Roswis. Thank you. Points his hand at him. You are a good man, and it is time for that man to return. Internal subconscious. Immediately, as if everything broke, the field would turn black. Roswis was in Issei's mind, she seemed to be floating in a black puddle below her, bright eyes watching her. Roswis. This is Issei's mind. The mind is disturbed so strongly that just by seeing those eyes in the background, I know that they don't like visitors. Issei. What are you doing here? Roswis. Of course, such a simple and direct boy would have to have the same mind. Issei was observing memories, it was not that difficult to guess which memories she observed were Rias. Issei. You know, I said I wasn't going to regret or cry, I even acted strong, I told Akeno that I would dominate the world to bring peace. Roswis. What happened? Issei. I told her I need time to train, she nodded. After that, I cut off all communication with acquaintances, I thought I could bear the pain, but no, the pain in my head was pulsing so much that I couldn't concentrate, it was like the world was driving me crazy. Roswis. The stress must have been terrible, but you should not fool Issei. Issei. Look, I met her in a crash, it was as if destiny was acting, and in a moment when I saw her I knew it was good that she was a gift to me. Roswis. Issei. Issei. People may say that love at first sight is stupid, but those people don't know anything because they must live it to feel it. Roswis. I can't speak for her, I'm not in the right, but as Roswis I will say that she doesn't want to see you fall to the bottom. Issei. I know you know it feels like saying it's sour, the saving of an engagement, we start our courtship and it dies, we don't even consummate our love, all the efforts feel empty, as if the previous victory was for nothing. Roswis. Approaches no victory is in vain. Issei. Roswis, when I requested the operation you know that she was not going to be normal. Roswis. When it came to you I understood it. Issei. I was going to transfer special eyes to me, eyes with great power. Roswis. I know. Issei. However you stopped me. Roswis. Give you power in that state I fear that you would do things that would cause you regrets. Issei. You did well in these 2 weeks, I could see that you really helped me without expecting anything in return, even without expecting me to love you. Roswis. Since. Issei. When I know, I would have to be a fool not to notice the look of a girl in love towards me, you always made a face when she saw me sad, it was really noticeable. Roswis. I don't expect that. Issei. May it correspond to your feelings, yes, I know, regardless of it, you still helped me, I can't say that in these 2 weeks I haven't developed feelings for you but. Roswis. But. Issei. How can I love you if I can't protect you? Roswis. Puts a fist in his face. At that moment the place would be in an uproar, however Roswis remained calm and Issei was motionless. Issei. Roswis. Roswis. Ha wow, men are idiots because women must always make them see reason. Issei. What are you talking about? Not because you hit me. Roswis. Because you deserve it. Who told you that I need your protection, so that you love me? None of that matters, it is normal for a man to protect a woman, but I am not useless who doesn't know how to defend myself. Issei. But. Roswis. But nothing, women can also protect ourselves, Rias knew about that, she could defend herself, Akeno, she can fight, as long as a woman can fight, she does not need to be protected, only loved. Issei. Roswis. Saying that you love me but you can't accept me for not protecting me, that's an excuse from a coward, and the Issei that I fell in love with, that was on the news, that is breaking his face with Loki. He is not a coward, he is anything but a coward. Issei. Opens his eyes wide. Roswis. You can't always protect us, no one can, that's why if we lose, it's the fault of our weakness, that's why we must be stronger. Rias, maybe she regrets dying or I blame you. I don't think she did it. You did your best to protect her. She probably knows. The decisions you made were better, maybe I would be here, but we can't ask to go back in time. Those are the events that change our lives and that we accept to move forward. Issei. This. Roswis. So highschooldxd Issei, Red Emperor, it is time for you to dominate this shadow that has been dominating you. Not her to you. Her face would slowly approach Issei's, and she would kiss him immediately, as if the disturbed and altered sea were simply a hallucination. Everything would become calm, the mental darkness would dissipate. What is this? I feel as if my disturbed mind calmed down, as if the anger could be controlled in inner peace. The screams of the shadows calmed down. I see if the king is disturbed and his subjects too. I can feel the voices that felt incomprehensible, understandable now. I couldn't protect Rias, I decided to end this corrupt world, but with a weak mentality I can't do it. I need to be strong, I need to let the people I love also make and act with their own decisions, try to protect them, but never forget to love them. I finally feel the clarity of my mind, a blow I needed. I'm not a monster, I am not God, not even a demon, I am the monarch of shadows. Roswis. You're finally awake. Issei. Thank you. You know you could kiss me more. Roswis. Blushes. I'll take that into account when you finish with Loki. Issei. There will be no problem if she killed him. Rias. I don't care at all. Issei. That's my girl. Rias. Your girl, you haven't even proposed to me. Issei. I will do it when I win. Rias. Well, Issei wins. Immediately Rias would leave Issei's mental world and return to reality. Arena. Rias. Ha god, it seems to have worked. Zenobia. Seriously, because they are still. Rias. Give it a second. Smiles. The exchange of blows between Loki and Issei continued. Issei was bleeding too much. Loki. It's over. Issei. Smiles. You think so? Loki. Hey. Issei. Status recovery. At that moment Loki's look of fear went towards Issei. Out of nowhere 2 daggers appeared. Dreg. Glad to have you back, insane mate. Issei. Dreg. Boost. Loki. What the hell? After saying those words, Loki's arms would be sliced off by Issei's daggers. Issei. That was for touching my girl. Loki. Bleeding. I am miserable. Issei. Sprint ability has been activated. Loki. I am a god, this is not possible. Issei. If you are a god, tell me why you don't have a head. His head was sliced clean with a slash of his daggers. Immediately a message in the system was displayed. Congratulations, you have killed a god. You have acquired the title Godslayer. You have 20% more damage against divine beings or deities. You have leveled up. 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 The barrier would disappear again. They would be in the human world with the difference that Loki's corpse lay on the ground. Zenobia. She killed him. Arena. So this is the Red Emperor Dragon. Rias. Issei hugs him. Issei. I can declare myself now. Rias. Geez, you're so you can't win with your idiocy. Issei. I'll take it as a yes. Arena. This Issei. Issei. Are you? Arena. It's true that you don't recognize me, we'll talk about that later. We want to say thank you for saving us. Issei. You made time for me to arrive, I also owe you a favor. Zenobia. Rias, we will be able to testify against Loki for his actions. We heard everything, so you can leave with Issei calmly. We will clean the scene and give a report to the Nordics. The church will not remain calm anyway. Arena. If we have another opportunity, we would like to talk to Issei. Issei. Go ahead, if you'll excuse me, I must leave before more problems can come to Rias. Rias. Yes, let's go. They would immediately leave the scene, leaving Zenobia and Arena alone. Arena. So what do you think? Zenobia. Due to his relationship with Grimory, I don't think we can have him for our side, rather I would say it is impossible for heaven to have him. Arena. Then that leaves us with the mission failed. Zenobia. No. Arena. But you said it's impossible. Zenobia. But an alliance is more beneficial and is not considered a loss, seeing its power if it could kill a god. Arena. I already see some idea of what you will do. Zenobia. I have a lot of faith in it. Arena. Just don't do something crazy. 2 days later. Issei. I guess my break is over. Rias. It's time to go home, right? Issei. Don't be sad, if you want you can live with me. Rias. What are you saying? Blushes. A man and a woman living together without being married, that is immoral. Issei. Then let's get married. Rias. Embarrassed, you're going too fast. Issei. It's fun to play with my girlfriend. Rias. Geez, you already told Akeno. Issei. If I take it right, she knows what I'm like. Rias. Not that of your plans to dominate the world. Issei. Yes. Rias. It really is the only way. Issei. We attack the allied countries, but we don't kill people, we just destroy valuable resources so they have to replace them, and since they are difficult to replace, we will have a free way to the United States without anyone to support them. Rias. Promise me that power will not reap you. Issei. I promise, just please support me. Rias. I will always support you, your eye surgery will be soon, until then don't do anything stupid. Issei. I don't think I can. Rias. Sigh. Well, at least take better care of yourself. Issei. Yes, by the way, when you made me reconsider in my mind, I said something out of the ordinary. Rias. You said you were something called Shadow Monarch. Issei. Shadow Monarch. Rias. Do you know something about it? Issei. Not only did I feel that the word was engraved in my mind as if it were carved, what does it mean? Rias. A person's subconscious is complicated. Greg. It's the same when you use the mode, just the name of the transformation comes to your mind out of nowhere, although I can tell you that maybe there is an external factor. Issei. I think for now I won't give it importance. At that point the snow would begin to fall outside. Issei and Rias would come out to see it. It was a beautiful sight. Issei. It seems like the weather is a little strange considering it's not December yet. Rias. True, but it's beautiful, I don't dislike it. Greg. That in Norse mythology they don't have something like Ragnarok. Rias. That's a myth, Dreg. I can't believe a celestial dragon believes in it. Dreg. Being from the Nordic faction, you don't believe in it. Roswis. If the world belonged to the Nordics maybe, but there are many factions in different countries, so no. Issei. Ragnarok, what is that? Roswis. Well, it is said that a winter that will last 3 years. Dreg. Rather snow, more snow, and then the damn end of the world after it. Issei. Ha, I don't think the end of the world is coming, this snow is just temporary. Roswis. It looks good. Issei. I'll go get a scarf. He quickly brought Roswis a scarf. Roswis. Geez, don't think that I'm such a delicate woman. Issei. I'm just being a good boyfriend. Roswis. Smiles, these moments are truly memorable. Issei. Yes. I don't know what the future holds for me, but staying still and stopping is not an option. How many people I will love and how many I will fight for, I am going to dominate the world. I must have the mentality of a general, of a king, of a monarch. In the darkness, 2 voices echoed. You have finally overcome your state of instability, sir. I just needed a push, the path I'm on is bleak. His container became strong enough. If he would say that he would already be able to use all the power of the shadows, then I continue with the next phase. No. It still shouldn't be stronger, much stronger enough to be the best container of all. I understand, but the other monarchs will realize very soon. I count on it. In the darkness, a plan was forming, 2 voices echoed. Apparently Issei's future was darker than he imagined. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.